Hello all, my name is Kyle, aka the Kyng-Pin parentheses of Spades, and I've started school a few weeks ago. And let me tell you, animation is rough. Especially when you have 4 classes using 4 different programs. And a business course, but that's not important. Anyway, I've had to learn quite a few different programs for my school this semester, and I wanted to take a look at a few of them. Keep in mind, everything I'm going to say about this first program today is all just from a few hours of experience as a beginner. But without further ado, let's get right into it, right after we run the new intro! I actually don't know how I feel about this intro, so let me know down in the comments what you guys think of it. Today, we will be looking at Toon Boom Harmony, or Toon Boom for short, or TB for even shorter. Now, let's just stick with Toon Boom. Anyway, Toon Boom is a 2D animation program that allows its user to create, well, 2D animations. Go figure. This might affect my opinion a little bit, but I'm not too sure. I'm not sure I like 2D animation. Don't get me wrong, I love cartoons, I love anime, and I have mad respect for the people who can do it, especially the people who pioneered this stuff who didn't have the help of a computer. However, I just don't see it as something I will do in the future. I feel a lot more comfortable working with motion graphics and After Effects and 3D animation in something like Blender. And maybe that's because I've worked in them a lot longer and feel more comfortable with them. I don't know. Just 2D animation is not exactly my cup of tea. With that being said, I found the interface as a beginner to be a little challenging to use. So I had to learn this program. So I'm currently learning this program through a mixture of self-teaching and classroom instruction. I'm in a 2D animation course, but we're focused more on the principles of animation rather than how to work the program. So I just knew the basics, how to draw, how to add layers, and that was it for class so far. Everything else has been on me. And one of the biggest problems I'm seeing is keyboard shortcuts. And I could be biased from working in Adobe products for so long, but it's not one key, it's a combination of keys to switch between tools. Now that's an easy fix. I hovered over the tools, found out what the keyboard shortcut was, and problem solved. However, I find myself not remembering what those shortcuts are, and I find myself switching between the tools manually a lot more rather than the shortcuts, which adds a little bit of time, and maybe it's just personal preference of how to do it, but I don't know the keyboard shortcuts just yet. And some tools don't even have keyboard shortcuts, like the hand tool, the one that moves your view around the scene, doesn't have a preset keyboard shortcut. So I would have to manually switch between brush and hand every time I need to move around the frame, which, let's be honest, is a lot in 2D animation when you're moving something from point A to point B and you're not using keyframes in the sense that you would in 3D animation. Now, I know I could have gone into the preferences of the program, added and changed around some of the keyframes, but in my defense, no. Anyway, moving on. Now, it's not all bad though. I found myself enjoying animations in this program a lot more than I did in Photoshop. So, for context, about a year ago, I tried my hand in 2D animation in Photoshop using its timeline and stuff like that. And I didn't love it. The animations were janky and I wasn't loving the work I was doing. But I was also focused on 3D modeling as well as the time and learning that from scratch. But with this program, I felt myself learning, and we'll get to that in a few seconds, learning with each project that I've done, but also I felt my animations being a lot smoother, and I find this program helps a lot more with animation than something like Photoshop would. Probably because it's built for doing this, whereas in Photoshop, the 2D animation thing kind of seems like a thing they added on at the end. And also something that this program, Toon Boom, has over Photoshop is turning my stylus around with my drawing tablet automatically switches to the eraser tool. Now, I haven't tried this in Photoshop to know if it does that, but it cuts out that manual switch between brush and eraser, which is really good. I really like that. So that's a total plus. And I also found myself having a lot more fun with this one. I genuinely enjoyed what I was making, and I didn't view them as homework assignments. So here are the 2 projects that I did do so far in this program. So I found myself learning more and more about not only the program but also animation the more projects I did, which I didn't really get when I was doing animation in Photoshop. So in Project Zero, which is a project that I started but never finished and ultimately wound up making the notebook one, Project 1, in its place, I didn't know how to do pretty much drawing, adding a good background, making layers fit in the right order, and making frames that last throughout the entire animation without moving. I thought you just draw them in every frame best as you can to stay the same. But when we got to Project 1, I figured out how to do those consistent background things. All those notebook lines are on their own layer, not part of the background, and they're just extended to the end of the animation. And then when we got into Project 2, the bouncing fry one, that whole fry cup was made of a bunch of different layers. It's the front, the back, front row of fries, back row of fries, and then of course the bouncing fry itself. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I really hope in the next project that I do to get a bit more into shading and the different brush sizes, because so far I've only been using really one brush and the bucket tool. So I want to learn more about the drawing aspects of it. Maybe try clipping mask like they have in Photoshop, where it only bounds to some of it. Opacity, hardness, learning all that stuff that I know from Photoshop in this program is my next goal to learn in Toon Boom. But that's pretty much the extent of my opinion so far. Like I said, it's only a beginner's opinion with only a few hours of experience in it. But I think it has both pros and cons. It's a lot more fun and helpful in terms of 2D animation, but the interface is a little confusing. But like I said, that could just be on me. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't take anything I say as the end-all be-all. I'm not recommending this program. I'm not recommending this program. I recommend that you do your own research and form your own opinions on this program. I'm just letting you know that this program exists. But that's going to do it for today. I hope you liked the video, and you can show me you liked it by lighting up the like button, smashing that subscribe button, and generally just staying tuned and telling me what you think of 2D animation down in the comments. That's going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Have a maximum week. Goodbye!